feel nothing but stress like DDG palmed the ball away from the cross like he couldn't care less like. There was so many points in the game but not enough time for your boy to address like. But it felt like James Rodriguez had all the time in the world to finesse like. From the fence was a mess like. Woo. I feel nothing but stress like DDG palmed the ball away from the cross like he couldn't care less like. There was so many points in the game but not enough time for your boy to address like. But it felt like James Rodriguez had all the time in the world to finesse like. From the fence was a mess like. Woo. Fam, what was that? What was that, bro? Bro, I've never seen in my life such nonsense, bro. Fam, we were up in that game by 2 goals. Come second half, we concede 2 goals in the space of 3 minutes. The nonsense, shambolic defending was beyond belief, bro. It was beyond belief. I just... Look. Bro, this laughter here is not laughter, bro. This is mixed with all sorts of sorrow and pain right about now. It is emotional. Bro, how? We went up twice. And it feels like an L. It feels like an L. It feels like a loss. It don't feel like we dropped 2 points. It feels like we dropped 3 points. That defense, if there's one thing about United, like, we're conceding too many goals. Fam, like, this is a team that scored the most goals in the league. The attack is not the problem. Scoring goals is not the problem. Yeah, we might have the odd game where we're like crying for a goal, like we're on a little drought, but overall, over the course of the season, goals has not been a problem. The defense has been an issue. Lack of concentration, lack of discipline, it's been an issue. Look, United, I've seen it how many times this season where, like, even against Leicester City, where in last moments of the game, we're just conceding the goal. These are games that were making difficult. Like, we went up against the first game against Sheffield, what was it? Sheffield United, where we won, I think it was 3-2. We conceded like 2 silly goals. Like, we made the game a lot more difficult for us and uncomfortable than it should have even been. Like, today, we done it again. We conceded 2 goals. Like, James Rodriguez had so much time in that box. It was unbelievable. No one there to close him down. This is where you miss that. The guy like Eric Bailly, who's getting himself and he's putting his whole body on the line to block that ball. Fam, you lot may laugh, but Phil Jones was another guy like that puts his body on the line so much so that he's always getting he's always getting injured because he's putting his body on the line stupidly. But with Eric Bailly, he's one of those guys I could have saw putting his body in the line, last ditch defending, you know what I mean, blocking that. This guy James Rodriguez had enough, you know what I mean, like enough time to flipping go back home, have lunch, you know, come back, do a few stretches, and come back and take that shot and put it in our net. He had that much time. You can't leave a guy like James Rodriguez with that much time in your box. You can't do it. And we go and leave him and let him score that goal. David De Gea, bruv. Like, you might as well have just assisted that. You assisted the goal. You went out and dived and pushed that ball away, but it was with the softest of touches. You just escorted that ball right into the into the opposition's feet, and then went and scored that goal. When you're making saves like that, it's a firm hand that you're using to push that ball away. Like, it's 2 jobs that you've got to do. 1, stopping the ball from going in your net. 2, pushing that ball to safety. You done the first job, you didn't do the second job. You didn't clear that ball away when you made that save far enough to avoid any danger. You pushed it right back into traffic. It was the softest of punch. Like, what was that? I was like, bro, we didn't deserve to win that game. No way. You can't be making mistakes like this and be saying you want to be, challenging for the league or winning the league. You can't. We made too many mistakes today, man. Too many mistakes. It's sad. It's upsetting, man. It feels like an L. It's upsetting. You can't do that, man. I was there getting excited when we were 2-0 up, thinking, yeah, going into half time, like, United, this is light work. We'll make this easy. Or looking at the table, thinking, yeah, that joint points with City, you know, 47 points each. Yeah, they got 2 games in hand. They play Liverpool, you know, tomorrow. You know, they're gonna probably, hopefully, fingers crossed, they can drop points. Liverpool got their number. Look, City's, you know, watch them go into, you know, even if they drop points, it's pointless, because we went and gone drop points against Everton. It's pointless. City can have an 8-point gap against United. You know, they've got 2 games in hand. They can have an 8 points gap. When you start giving City that type of gap, it's a joke, bro. At least mentally, like, yeah, they've got the 2 games in hand, but mentally we would have been joint points with them. And they've still got Liverpool to play. When you start giving teams potentially 8 points, like we're losing games like this, 8 points gap, there's no way. Once City has that 8 points gap lead, like written, set in stone, like they can see it, there's no coming back from it, man. There's no coming back from it. And the difference between City is, City ain't scored as many goals as us in the league, but the difference with City is their goal difference is better, because City's not conceding. They're going, you know, game upon game upon game, where, you know, they're just not conceding goals. Ruben Diaz, you know, smart business, shutting up shop. Stones stepping up, shutting up shop. Laporte, shutting up shop. You know, we've got this partnership of Maguire and Lindelof, and we had so many signs in the game where their attack, Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, was getting, like, they were slipping in those balls, they were getting behind our defence, and that speed was just too much to deal with. You know what I mean? Oli, you keep playing Lindelof and Maguire together. Yeah, they're a decent pairing, but together the partnership just doesn't work. It's a marriage that just doesn't work. Like, Bailly, if you're not playing Bailly because he's injured, start Twanzebe. Yeah, we had a poor game before, but these guys need the run of games. Like, we need to start playing these guys. We need, or if you're talking about going in a sub, if you're not going to be playing these guys, you need to be prioritising a centre-back that you do feel comfortable with playing. In the summer, like Jules Koundé or whatever like that, or Konate, or whoever you want to do, we need someone that's quick, strong, do you know what I mean? Especially quick, because we keep getting burnt. Like you saw it with Eric Bailly and when Maguire were playing together, you had someone sweeping, you know what I mean? You had someone covering. Like Maguire, he ain't got the pace. Lindelof ain't got the pace. And on top of that, their positioning and their awareness is not all that. They're not all that. They'll be trying to play a high line or play the offside, whatever it is. And on top of that, you got Wan-Bissaka, who's always playing someone onside. But you, Maguire, who's captain, you're positioning. You're not taking control. You're not saying, you know what, fix up, guy to my right, fix up, guy to my left, fix up. You're there getting lost in the sauce like everyone else. Your positioning, you know that you're not the quickest. Your positioning should always be in a place where you're looking at your ops thinking, raw, I need to give myself a yard or 2 or whatever, so I can be able to, like, Rio Ferdinand were bossing these type of things there. Do you know what I mean? Felix Ferdinand, they were bossing these situations. They'll give themselves that extra bit of space if they're up against the fast guys. Do you know what I mean? They'll make sure that they're not getting skinned all the time. Like, these men were getting skinned too many times. It was obvious, like the signs were there. Do you know what I mean? Calvert-Lewin had that one-on-one chance where he just put it wide off the post. They had opportunities. We're getting skinned. That partnership ain't working, man. It's not working. We need to change it. You know what I mean? Bye. Just stop worried about whether that guy's going to get injured if you're playing him in 2 consecutive games or 3 consecutive games. Because at the end of the day, the guy's going to get injured anyway. You know what I mean? He's going to get injured in training or whatever. Like, look, we ain't seen Eric Bailly. Like, he's going to get injured anyway. You might as well get the best out of him or the most out of him whilst you can. Like, stop doing this stuff. Stop benching these men. Like, this was a good week to, like, do you know what I mean? Get these 3 points. You saw what happened to Liverpool. They caught an L last week. Saw what happened to Arsenal. They're always catching L's. You know? They're always catching L's. You're giving them joy, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You're giving them joy now. Because we're drawing games. And they're catching L's, but they're still getting joy because we're drawing and they're still catching L's. They're getting joy. It's mad. United, man, this is sad. It's terrible. It's sad. And the problem with United is I just don't know what United I'm going to get. I really don't. I mean, you have a flat United against Sheffield United, where we lost. You know, we have a team where we're attacking, but we can't put our chances away. Arsenal. You know, we've got a team that was blitzing, you know, teams. Southampton 9-0. We've got a team today again that's reverting back to that team that was, you know, a few months back, where we was it a few months back or weeks back, where we played Leicester. We're up, you know, and then we go on concede, you know, later on in the game. We're a team that we couldn't shore out the game again. Like, what's that? I thought we got over that hurdle. Do you know what I mean? We brought in Twanzebe, which I thought personally was a decent, you know, substitution. Like, you know, we were looking like we were getting pressed, bring on another defender to close it out last minutes of the game. But in actual fact, I'm thinking like, you know, why are we going on a back foot? This is Manchester United. Why are we going on a back foot? You know what I mean? How many times do I talk about our neighbours, our noisy neighbours, City, where, you know, they're always going in. They're always going in. Like, there'll be 2 goals up, 3 goals up. They're always trying to get the 3rd, 4th, 5th. They had the killer instinct. That's what we had against Southampton. The killer instinct. And what? We were attacking. Did we concede? No. I don't care if it was against 10 men. Bro, you ain't putting 9 goals against 10 men all willy-nilly. It's even harder to score against 10 men a lot of the time because they're just playing defensive. We had the killer instinct, and sometimes attack is the best form of defense. Do you know what I mean? We're just like why are we like getting shook? We should be doing or playing our game. We should be playing our game. And like, yeah, our attack did. I mean, I've been commending our attack, like, and we have been doing well overall this season. But you know what? We had contributions from Wan-Bissaka as well, which, you know, I've been screaming for. We had contributions from Luke Shaw. What a wicked crossing he put in for Scott McTominay to get his goal. Do you know what I mean? Scott McTominay is contributing here and there. It's good. Do you know what I mean? Greenwood had a decent game again today. You know, supporting, getting involved in that game. Where before he would kind of go quiet, but now he's contributing, whipping in balls, attacking. You know, he's getting his shots off, even though one he kind of dragged wide. I was hoping he hit that on target, but you know, he's getting more involved in the game, which is what I want to see. Do you know? Rashford as well. He was getting more, like, I prefer Rashford that's getting more involved in the game and making silly mistakes than a Rashford that is non-existent for one. But the problem that we are seeing with Rashford is that Rashford continues to sometimes do that bit of skill too much. He does that extra touch, that extra dribble, where he could be getting a shot off, and he twists and turns himself into trouble, into a position which is less favourable for him. Do you know what I mean? We saw that a few times. Sometimes it can be seen as he's a bit greedy at times, selfish, where he can, you know, lay off the ball to someone else that can easily, you know, be in a better position to put the ball in it. You know, sometimes I see him and he's running into defences, he's running into like dead ends, he's running into crowded spaces, he's trying to do that whole dribbling skilly thing. It's like at times he's not like, it's almost like a guy playing like street football at times, where he's just not quite there all the time. Yeah, he brings out moments of brilliance, that his ball that he whipped in, drilled precision cross, do you know what I mean, to assist the goal for who was it, Cavani, it was brilliant. Sometimes you just need to do the simple things and just do them well and consistently. And I feel like Rashford, yeah, he's good at scoring goals and supporting that, but sometimes, like, you know, I just want him to do more of that supportive role more effectively and more consistently. Like, stop always trying to be the goal scorer. You've got Cavani, he's a quality guy, that's a predator. You supply him and it's going to go in the net. Be more of a team player sometimes, and be, if you're playing out wide as a winger, try to have a mentality, you know, as a winger as well. Keep it balanced. I feel like because we ain't got proper wingers, we've got these like strikers or inverted strikers or whatever, that's sort of these morphed type of winger type striker guys, that decision maker is not always there. You know, if you had the traditional wingers, they know what their job is to do. You know, get to that byline, whip it in like the Valencias. He wasn't trying to be doing all of this cutting and be shooting at the goal. His job was to whip that ball in. Do you know what I mean? However basic he looked to certain fans, he knew what he had to do. Do you understand? Beckham, them days there, they knew what they had to do. Yeah, when the opportunity presents itself and you've got a good chance to get your goal, or there's no other option, do you know what I mean? Do your thing. And the goals will come naturally, they will come. Sometimes I feel like Rash is making that poor decision. Yeah, I'm happy that Oli as well made a good decision to bench Martial. You know, Cavani's getting his starts and Cavani's done excellent in that game. I don't have any fault. But I feel like, you know, yeah, I would only say, man, in that performance, Rash, he made some selfish decisions there. But ultimately, yeah, I feel like, you know, defensively, you just can't concede that many goals. We're conceding too many goals. Conceding too many goals. You can't win the league conceding that many goals. Our defence is just not good enough, Ollie. We really need to consider what we want to do, because if Tuanzebe is not getting enough game time, do you know what I mean? You need to make decisions here. Do you want to keep him or not? Buy it. You need to make decisions here. Like, bring in guys that can keep this guy fit or what. Don't be letting these guys be an excuse to why you don't go and get a guy, you know, that can proper suit, you know, either Lindelof or Maguire as a better partnership. I don't want you going into the summer and buying someone else where you're still thinking, oh snap, like my first two are Lindelof and Maguire. Someone needs to come in to either bench one of them. Do you know what I mean? If you're not going to be bringing in a defender, make a decision about how you're going to be using Bailly or Tuanzebe. Give them a good start, a good run of games. Like, stop just benching them and depending on Lindelof and Maguire. Yeah, they've taken you far, but when tough gets going, they're a good partnership to finish top 4. But they're not a good enough partnership to be winning Premier League, in my opinion. They're not a good enough partnership to be certainly not winning Champions League. Fam, they're not good enough. You'll get exposed. Get exposed too many times. So man, I don't know, man. Like, I complain about these things, and I thought eventually Oli gets it, you know what I mean? But he's just very slow to it. Like Martial, man, to bench that guy should have been benched a long time ago. Do you know what I mean? A very long time ago. And I know Oli was probably trying to play him through that rut, but he should have got benched a long time ago, in my opinion. And I think the team's been performing slightly better when he's been benched, personally. You know what I mean? It takes too long to make his decision making sometimes. And I know, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, Oli is not the perfect manager. And you know what I mean? If we had the perfect manager, we'll be probably 8 points clear already. And I know. And it's sometimes, you know, it's frustrating. Yeah, I got to be patient, but it's frustrating. But I just look at this team and I just get frustrated, man. Because I just don't know what we're getting. I really don't know what we're getting with United. It's up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Like, I can see the potential there, but we're just not gelling all the time, man. But you know what? That's my piece, man. It's upsetting, man. It's upsetting. But you know what? We are where we are, man. We have to lift our heads high. Guys, lift your heads high. We've got the next game. Do you know what I mean? I'm glad the games are coming in thick and fast. Do you know what I mean? We ain't got to wait a whole weeks for games. You know what I mean? Europa League's coming back in for us as well. We've got, you know, Real, Sociedad, whoever it is. So, you know what I mean? We can just lift our heads up. You know, bounce back quickly, man. There's no time to be sad. There's no time to, like, you put your head down, because this league is so tight. Things can change so quickly that the moment you start feeling sorry for yourself, someone's come and nicked your place. All of a sudden, you're 5th, or you're chilling with Arsenal in 10th. Like, you know the one there. Teams are like got 2-3 games in hand above them, and they're chilling in 10th. And then you're just feeling sorry for yourself, sad, chilling with them. Nah, fam. Bounce back, bro. Bounce back. That's what we gotta do. It's the OT99 Banter Room, where opinions get shared and smoke gets served. We're out. Remember, like, comment, and support.